I really wanted to show my audience this famous game from 1858 since it really ties into the timing development element of chess that we were just talking about. This game was played in the very beautiful city of Paris at an opera house between Paul Morphy and Duke Karl. As you will see in this game, many pawn moves were made instead of developing moves, and this gave Morphy a huge lead in development and a winning game. So Paul Morphy will be on the white side of the board, and his opponent Duke Karl is playing the black side. And you don't have to understand every concept or the tactical ideas behind this game. What I really want you to focus on is all the pawn moves that black made and how that led to a huge development in for white. Alright, so e4, e5, and here we have knight f3, and black is about to make his first mistake here. With these arrows I'm pointing out that white is attacking this pawn in the center, but black can defend it by developing his knight. So he doesn't have to move a pawn, he can simply develop a knight and defend the pawn. But instead he moves a pawn, neglecting to develop a piece and also blocking in this star-squared bishop so it can't get to a really good square. It's now passive. So those are two mistakes so far that black has made. Now another mistake is that he now has to trade off his bishop for the knight, which allows white to develop another piece. So as we can see here, white now has two pieces developed. It is black's turn to move, but white already has a lead in development and a lot of space here. So after queen b3, there's already a double attack, and because of the pawn moves that black has made, he is already in serious trouble, and it's only move 7 in the game. But he decides to defend the pawn that's closest to the king, but in doing so has managed to block in this star-squared bishop. So now the bishop can't be developed, it's completely stuck. So that's another mistake that black has made. And we see knight c3, c6, which is another pawn move. He should have developed his knight or tried to move the queen and get his star-squared bishop developed. But instead he makes another pawn move, and that allows Paul Morphy to develop a fourth piece, now being up two pieces in development, and is ready to bring his rooks into the game. So as you can see here, black is already in big trouble. His bishop can't be developed, and his rook also is stuck. So after b5, another pawn move. Well, at this point, because white has so much development, he goes ahead and sacrifices some material to get this huge attack. You don't have to understand the sacrifice right now, just understand that all these pawn moves has led white to have this huge attack, to a crushing attack. Castles, and now the rook is also lining up on the knight, so all of white's pieces are on the attack. Rook moves over, and that is a rook sack, but it is sound because once again black's two pieces are not able to get into the game. It's almost like he's playing down material. Queen e6 was tried to get the bishop developed, but it's a little bit too late. And here, this beautiful queen b8 check. No other way to defend except to take the queen, and then rook to d8 checkmate. The rook can't be captured because the bishop is guarding it, and the bishop is also guarding that square as well. So the king is in checkmate. So that was a very beautiful game played by Paul Morphy, and that illustrates how making too many pawn moves in the opening can quickly lead to disaster.